See if I'm too quiet today. Is my mic coming through clear?
Yeah, sounds really good.
Yeah, sounds good.
You like my new hat?
Tailor made, very nice. I like it. I like it.
Audio Jungle.
We are back. It's season 3 for the Sports Reverends. My name's Dan. I'm joined with my co-host Drew Martin. How you doing?
Oh, doing good. Nice to see you again. Haven't seen you in a long time.
It's been too long. And then I got my big bro, also known as the coach, the other chocolate guy on the screen, if you couldn't guess it. How you doing, Coach?
Coach, I'm doing well. Coach is good. Happy to be back. Took us a little long to get started on season 3, but let's roll.
Let's roll. And as we always start, we start with the Sports Reverends quick hitter news. First things first, we got Justin Fields will make his first career start this Sunday.
Ben Simmons won't report to 76ers training camp.
The Ryder Cup starts Friday.
And the Alabama Crimson Tide remain the top-ranked NCAA men's football team forever.
And here we go. We're already starting with the props. Reverend Drew Martin prediction of Marcus Simeon hitting 40 home runs comes true. Drew, what did you say before the season started?
I said if he hit 30 in Oakland, he'll hit 40 in Toronto.
Well, that came true. And before we go anywhere else, let's hear a word from our sponsors.
If you're looking to be financially free, if you're looking to be creating a source of income on the side, you need to start looking at investing in the stock market. However, everybody needs a little guidance every once in a while. You need to know how to get started, how to do things the right way. Check us out. Train to Invest is a course-based learning system, teaches you how to trade in the stock market, and it is a way to learn how to generate an additional source of income and look towards retiring early. Check us out at traintoinvest.com, invest.com. Download our free ebook. Check us out. Give us an email. Check us out on Facebook. Lots of good news and updates are posted there as well for those of you who are still on the Facebook. And if you have any questions, drop us a line. Again, www.traintoinvest.com, www.traintoinvest.com.
All right, I'm going to throw these guys for a little bit of a loop here. I was told we need to introduce ourselves a little bit more, and I thought we could do that. My name's Dan. I'm a Reverend downtown Toronto, and that's what I do. Where are you at, Drew?
I am a pastor in Selkirk, Manitoba, just north of Winnipeg, and yeah, that's where I am. That's what I do.
And then we got the analytics.
And no one knows what Joel does.
I'm just a pretty face here in the podcast, guys. Just a pretty face. My name is Joel. I'm the coach. I am a recent transient to Toronto. Just moved here a couple months ago. I work for Train to Invest. Teach people stock market trading, and happy to be allowed to be on the podcast.
All right.
We're happy to have you.
So we wanted to start by, let's just have a conversation about which is the best sports season of the year. Is it the most wonderful time of the year right now where there's the start of the NFL season, the playoff race for baseball, hockey and the NBA are just about to start? Or is it more like March where it's NHL playoffs, baseball's just starting, NBA playoffs, March Madness? What do you guys think?
Oh, I definitely think it's this season right now. It's the only time baseball's interesting is September, October. And you got the start of the football season, which always feels like such a long layoff from January. Yeah, and yeah, you got the kickoff of NBA, NHL, Ryder Cup. It's all good. Love it.
What do you think, Coach?
I'm going to disagree. I love the March, April, May time of the year. You got March Madness. You got finals for both hockey and basketball. You got Champions League going on, a lot of soccer, a lot of variety. And most of the time, things are in the thick of things, right? Like you got playoff races, league cups and things like that. So a lot of stuff is on the line.
No football, though.
That's okay. I can deal without football. I can deal without football.
Yo, I'm pretty sure 90% of this podcast is football. I'm with Drew. I definitely think it's the most wonderful time of the year. And honestly, I was singing that song before the Thursday where we saw the Cowboys and Bucks there. So, but yes, let's get into it, boys. Speaking of NFL season, this last week was pretty fun. We had a pretty good Sunday nighter, Ravens Chiefs. What do you guys think?
Man, what a game. Yeah. What a game. I feel good for Lamar Jackson that he finally got a dub. But I think for someone who's a neutral and was watching the game, it was just exciting end to end. It also gave a lot of analysts, tons of stuff to talk about. So I don't think the NFL could have picked a better game in week 2 to have as a highlight on the Sunday night.
Yeah, I think it was such a fun game to watch, and to be honest, all the headline games have been really good this year. Mm-hmm. Usually they're a bunch of duds, but I've actually been pretty intrigued with all of them. Now, that being said, I think the Chiefs more lost this game than Baltimore winning it. But I do feel good for Lamar Jackson finally getting that monkey off his back, like he said. But the highlight of the game has to be that touchdown by Kelsey. Like, he made that whole team look just ridiculous.
What do you think?
Or Kelsey? I don't know.
Yeah.
But, okay.
It takes two to tango.
Yeah, there's a huge hype train right now how, Lamar Jackson just earned his contract, all this and that. I will say Baltimore, just had a ton of injuries going into that game. So you got to give him props on that in that sense, both offensively and defensively. But, like Drew said, Kansas City definitely still lost that game. And does that deserve paying that quarterback all that money?
Well,
I don't know.
Well, I think he deserves props because a lot of quarterbacks, after throwing a pick six on the first drive, could have just mailed it in, and then threw a pick on the next drive, didn't he?
Two early picks.
Two to Tyrann Mathieu. Right. Easily could have folded up, especially against the Chiefs.
For sure.
I'm not a quarterback, but if I throw a pick six, I'm over on the sidelines, maybe in the locker room already.
And he literally put the team on his back, down 11 going into the fourth. I want to flip into the end zone. Still not a great stat line for him. He's not a good quarterback. I heard Colin Cowherd talking about this earlier this week, talking about how if you change the name of the position quarterback to playmaker, he would be the best.
Yeah.
But as a traditional quarterback, he's not that good.
Yeah. Which is why they have to build around him to get him playmakers, right?
Right. And when you're down 4 running backs, that's
and I think you have to, like you said, give him props for putting the team winning on the back, but 100% agree. It was Kansas City's game to lose, and I know people were I saw some pundits be like, "Oh no, is this Chiefs this, that, and the other?" It's like, guys, it's one game. Sure, they lost to Baltimore, but how much football has this Kansas City team played in the last couple of years? Tons and tons and tons of games. So I'm not concerned about one game, even though it is the Baltimore and is an AFC contender. Let's see what happens in Week 17, where they're at, and I'm confident the Chiefs will be primed for another Super Bowl run.
Week 18.
Well, yeah, we could.
It would be
Jeez.
interesting. It would be interesting to see Lamar Jackson with like a myriad of weapons, like Mahomes has, right? You know, does he really have a number one receiver?
Mark Andrews.
That's a tight end.
Yeah.
So
Kelsey is Mahomes' number one receiver.
Well, okay, but then he also has Tyreek Hill, who's also like amazing.
yeah, but I think the difference is like Mahomes can run some, but he can throw like nobody's business. Lamar Jackson, you can't rely on him to win games with his arm.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Well, people are talking about that jump throw Lamar made. It was an ugly throw.
Absolutely.
Was it like,
Yeah,
He
absolutely.
did it again by like.
that was a breakdown. That was a breakdown in defense more than a nice play.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
And I think just like you said, the hype train's there. You know, Baltimore, again, props and kudos for having to go through all those injuries and still come with the W.
Yeah.
But you got to wonder if they're even going to be the strongest team in their division.
Yeah, that division's
Right?
tough, right? Division's tough.
Tough division. So,
Well, let's talk about
Denver's looking good.
yeah,
Let's
that's
talk
true.
about those cheeseheads now. Packers, they rebound big in a big way. Is it really rebounding big in a big way against Detroit? But they did rebound, okay? And
If you ever
Rodgers
needed a
looked
bounce
like-
back team,
Rodgers looked like Aaron Rodgers. He's undefeated. Coming up after a
Loss.
loss, he looked amazing.
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
I'll let Drew salivate a little bit before he gives his full analysis here. I mean, if you ever needed a team to get a bounce back and kind of correct yourself, Detroit's one of those teams. like they're just fodder for the fire, right? And I was completely shocked that Rodgers put up such a stinker in week 1. And
His worst performance ever.
yeah, I was shocked. And how he came out in this game was for me at least gonna be a barometer of what the season would look like. If he came out and stunk again, then I would have felt that we have a guy who just doesn't want to be there, wants to be traded, yada yada yada. He came out gunning it, and he just picked them apart. It was vintage Aaron Rodgers, right? So you know that he's invested, he wants to win, and again, I'm hoping the Pack do well. Except for this upcoming week.
You know, like I think even the first half they didn't play that good, and their defense is that's always the biggest question for the Packers. I don't think anyone really questioned Aaron Rodgers' level of play after week 1. I think everyone had the idea he's going to bounce back, but you know,
It's an attitude thing.
there's a few. I didn't hear anyone say that he's not going to bounce back. Their defense has always been in the question. Now, with that all being said, I've kind of started to hate his media interactions because, you know, he's talking about himself as like, you know, the person of my caliber, you know, we have to talk like this, or he's making up the narrative of, you know, people are just trashing on me and I love to kill the trolls in the second week, and it's starting to get on my nerves a little bit. But, you know, a pissed off Aaron Rodgers is definitely an effective one. So I'll just say that.
Yeah, they played awful in the first half, and to be honest, I was nervous at the halftime because, like you said, Aaron Rodgers does not seem like he wants to play football anymore, and he sort of has this attitude of I don't need to do this. It's sort of like the opposite of Tom Brady, like.
Yeah. That's a good comparison.
You can just tell that Tom Brady, yeah, we know he doesn't need to do this, but we know he wants to do this.
The passion is there, yeah.
Yeah, and Aaron Rodgers has this attitude of, yeah, if you don't get off my back, I'll just retire.
Exactly.
Oh, he can do Jeopardy.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, their defense. Like they were missing Zadarius Smith, who's their best pass rusher.
That's true.
Jair Alexander is the best shutdown corner in the league. I think he's right up there with Jalen Ramsey. I forget the stat that they said on Monday night, but I think over the last 2 years, he hasn't allowed a single touchdown when he's the nearest defender.
That's crazy.
Like, he's
mind-boggling.
just shut down. Now, on the other side of the ball, on the other side of the corner, they've got one of the worst corners. Tom Brady showed that last year in the playoffs. But, I don't know. It's going to be an up and down season, I think, for them. And every time they have a loss, this is going to be the narrative.
That's fair.
But Aaron Jones is a beast. They just need to keep feeding. They just need to keep feeding him the ball, and they'll be fine.
Concept, right?
Does this go ahead.
When they get their left tackle back, they'll be back to normal. Like, it's an undervalued thing. It's a under talked about thing. They've got the best left tackle in the league, and he's hurt right now. So
What's his name again?
Bakhtiari.
That's it.
Bakhtiari, yeah.
Yeah, he's a beast for sure. Okay,
I mean,
boys,
looking at this, before we move on, just one thing about this division, like, it's a pretty weak division if you think
Oh,
about
it's
it.
terrible.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, if the Packers even finish 10-6, or
7.
what is it, 10-7 now, they could still finish atop this thing.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's kind of
Well, we have to see how the Bears do with Justin Fields, though.
I don't know.
that's tough.
He's great. I think he's gonna be great.
They got lots of pieces on that team, and they got a defense.
That's true. He just doesn't have to turn over the ball, and then they're good, right?
If he's a game manager, it'd be a different story.
Well,
That's
it's
fair.
a perfect
And the
transition.
Vikings are going to turn it around too. Like, they're going to make a run.
Well, yeah, maybe.
I haven't, I feel like Kirk Cousins, if he hasn't shown it by now,
He's
I
showing
would
it
really-
right now. First 2 weeks.
I know, but it's just, you don't feel it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you don't feel like,
We
I don't know how to explain
We
it.
have
Don't have
the-
that confidence in him. That's what it is.
we had the perfect transition there. We talked about Justin Fields, and that brings up our rookie quarterback, talk this evening
Yeah.
here. And which rookie quarterback will get their first win on Sunday? Does what's his face from the Patriots? Doesn't he have a win already? Mac Jones.
Yeah.
Mac and cheese.
Oh, does he? Mac and cheese. he
Mac
does that.
10 is actually his real nickname, which is pretty boss.
Ugh.
That's a gun. Machine gun. I thought it was
I can tell you who it won't be. It won't be Trevor Lawrence. That's for sure.
That's not his fault. It won't be Zach Wilson. That's not his fault. They just have, what are they supposed to do?
It's tough. Can you imagine going from winning everything to winning nothing?
Yeah.
Like,
Zach Wilson reminds me a lot of Johnny Manziel.
Ooh, yeah.
And
oh yeah. That's an apt comparison.
he's got a bit of that cockiness going on. And people are so high on him, but I just don't think he's that good.
Yeah, I agree.
No.
And then,
I agree with you. Do you think Fields is going to win his first game? Do you think he goes 1-0?
who do they play?
Browns, they're not winning.
Definitely not.
That's a tough one.
That's like you're throwing him literally to the fire in his first start. It's like, might as well, oh man. I guess, the football ways happened and Andy Dalton got hurt, so
Hey, look what happened to Tom Brady.
he's got to step up.
Yeah.
He's got to step up.
I know he's not a rookie, but Jacob Eason maybe for the Colts if Wentz is down.
Yeah, I don't think
Well,
Wentz is playing.
He sprained both his. How do you sprain both your ankles? Like, that's just such a weird injury to get.
Carson Wentz. Don't even get me started.
Oh boy. Yeah, I don't think.
What's next here, Coach?
I think our last NFL topic for today, or at least for this segment, what's your biggest surprise through the first 2 weeks of the season? What's kind of going?
If you guys
Didn't expect that.
don't say, well, I don't care what you say, really. I'm going to say
Yeah.
the Dallas Cowboys defense has been the biggest surprise.
Oh,
Come
No
on.
one
The
cares.
defense has been ridiculously terrible last year, and they just held Justin Herbert to 17 points. That Chargers team is the real deal, and Micah Parsons looks like, wow, what an incredible talent they got there.
Okay, next.
Did you see him against Tom Brady? Because he looked lost on the field.
Well, not lost, I wouldn't say.
Oh, he looked lost.
No, he
that Cowboys team
like,
looks.
it's it's the best offense in the game right now. So it's like,
Okay.
you know, they did.
All right, we got
The Chargers also held the Cowboys to 17 points.
20.
So,
20.
well,
That's right.
yeah.
That was anyways. Okay, Drew, how will you go next?
I think it's got to be these Las Vegas Raiders, 2-0 with probably one of the toughest starts you got against Baltimore, then against Pittsburgh. And Derek Carr looks like the real deal. No one ever talks about Derek Carr.
He kind of got like just buried, eh?
Yeah,
he's an excellent quarterback.
Without Josh Jacobs on the field, and he ripped up the Pittsburgh defense, which is one of the best in the league for sure. Darren Waller is a beast. He's right up there with Kelsey and Kittle and Henry Ruggs finally got a deep touchdown. Looks like he's going to be a good there. I really like Renfro too, and their defense. Yeah, their defense looks okay now. But if Derek Carr can still put up these kind of numbers, that division's gonna be tough.
Yeah,
I like
absolutely.
John Gruden. I don't know why.
Oh, really? I don't know.
I like the way he does business for the Raiders. It's good.
That's fair. I mean, I don't know why. I just never got on the Gruden train. I think for me, my biggest surprise is that the Texans got a win in the first 2 weeks. So I was expecting a bit of an 0-1 start for them, but hey, they pulled one up.
Right?
Yeah, well, he's hurt now, right? But
he did what he did. He's done.
He did all right. He did pretty good.
And
I mean that Houston team. Oh my gosh.
Another honorable mention would probably be the Panthers as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sam Darnold looks really good. Like he looks like a completely different guy.
Yeah. You gotta wonder. There must be something in the Jersey water there. It's just the quarterback's just going to die.
I was gonna also say Teddy Bridgewater is, just not turning the ball over for Denver, and the rest of the Denver roster is really good. So they look like a pretty decent team. So, all right, that's it for the NFL talk for now. We're gonna hear another word from our sponsors.
Well, if you are a bigger guy like we all are and are looking for a comfortable shirt, Dan is wearing one right now. Go to One Bone. One Bone makes the most comfortable shirts you will ever wear. If you haven't tried them yet, I guarantee you, you will love them. All my shirts right now are either golf shirts or One Bone shirts. Just got off the course, so it's a golf shirt today. But normally you'll find me wearing a One Bone shirt. And for being a loyal listener, we got a special promo code for you to do. It is Sports Revs 15 for 15% off your first order. Sports Revs 15 for 15% off your first order, and go check them out. You will not be disappointed. We all have our own shirts and we all love them. Go check them out.
All right. Thanks, Drew. We are going into the playoff race for baseball. I'm pretty sure the Jays only care about September and October going forward as well, because they are absolutely on fire. I'm going to toss it to you first here, Drew, as giving us a little bit of a Jays update.
Well, they weren't on fire today, that's for sure. 7-1 loss, and I'm checking the Yankees score. Yankees are winning 7-3. So they're going to be out of a playoff spot by the end of tonight. And they've got a pretty tough schedule coming up, but they end with 3 games against Baltimore. So they got 3 in October.
In October, yeah.
The Blue Jays really surprised me this year. They made some aggressive moves at the deadline. It really helped out. And I thought they were going to be good. I thought they were going to take a step this year. But who could have saw Robbie Ray doing what he's doing? Cy Young candidate, Vladdy MVP candidate. Yeah, like if Ryu comes back healthy, we got a 1-2-3 with Berrios now, and that's all you need in the playoffs. It's 3 pitchers. We don't need to rely on Mats or anybody else. That bullpen is hit and miss, but they've been good. But their offense, like that's one of the best offenses in the game, and it's an exciting time to be a Blue Jays fan. I hope they do it. I don't know if you guys have seen Josh Donaldson has been talking up the Blue Jays.
Yeah.
Almost like he wants to reunite or something. I don't know. Yeah. Bringer of rain. But yeah, so their schedule, they're done with the Rays now. They got 4 games against the Twins, 3 games against the Yankees, then 3 games against Baltimore. I'd say they've got to win 7 or 8 of their next 10.
Will they do it?
They'll be in there. It's going to be tough. It'll come down to that Yankees series. If they can take 2 out of 3 from the Yankees and then sweep Baltimore, I think they're looking good.
Drew,
that's 5 right there.
I don't know who they got scheduled for pitching against the Yankees right now. Who I don't know who pitched today. I don't know where they are in their rotation. I'll be able to tell you more.
Okay, while you're looking that up, I just want to say I got to take Joel's, the coach's, Major League Baseball Ginity, and we got to go to a couple Blue Jays games, and that was
back to back. That was a lot of fun.
Back to back. Coach, tell us about your experience.
I like to read, and I've read a lot of articles about baseball games and stuff like that. And there's always talk about this murmur in the crowd, and it's very different than other sports. And when I got there, I was like, you can feel like people are paying attention, but they're still having conversation with other things. They're checking their phone. They're doing you can see old guys with their scorecards and whatever. And there's a general just buzz and atmosphere, which I find is very different than going to a hockey or even a basketball game. So that was kind of cool to actually experience that in real life. And the first game, I think we got some really good seats. And that was, I think we were sitting on the first baseline, which was pretty dope. And it was a lot of fun. And there's something to be said about when there's a guy who's going to potentially crank out a home run is higher than everybody else, and he gets up to the plate. Like when Vladdy comes up to the plate,
everyone's
anticipation.
Everyone stops what they're doing and
the anticipation just swells. I don't think I can really compare it to anything else, because in golf people just be quiet because they don't want to upset the guy. Tennis, the same kind of thing. But when somebody comes up and a big home run hitter comes up to bat, it's just you expect something big, right? And to hear the crack of the bat against the ball, a very unique sound. I'm looking forward to going to see more games. That's for sure. So that's exciting, and it was a lot of fun. And like you said, the Jays are significantly further than we thought they would be. We assumed that the offense would be good, not this good, but good. Pitching is caught up, and they're competitive. And really, for a team that's this young, and even though they made some big moves, being competitive, even pushing for a wild card spot, is a win. And at least in my book. And because not only do you have hardcore fans like yourselves interested in baseball again, in Canada at least, but you have a lot of neutrals and people who are just kind of, not really into it, but kind of into it. I don't want to say fair weather fans, but people who are just kind of getting into baseball who are just excited about it. And that's really all you can ask, right? Because you're going to capture a whole country's, just like the Raptors did. Kind of, they can push to the playoffs, which is really cool. And so, yeah, it's a fun time to be a Blue Jays fan. That's for sure.
Reverend Drew Martin, are you ready to give your answer?
So here's the bad news, okay? When we go into the Twins series, who's scheduled to pitch is Robbie Ray, Berrios, and Manoah.
Oh,
I love Manoah.
That means that we'll probably only get one of those guys to pitch against the Yankees. I'm saying our chances are pretty low. I'll give them a 40% chance to make it.
Wow. We got I hit the wrong button, but that worked. That worked. Drew, I was really hoping for you to just say.
Do you have like the heartbeat monitor going on right now or something?
Yeah, I was trying to put the pressure on you, and it just didn't work at all. Because you gotta believe it, Drew.
That being said, I want them to make it so bad.
And they got the 3 games in hand in Baltimore. We play the Yankees really well. I don't know why, but our head-to-head matchup is pretty good.
But you got your 3 best pitchers going against Minnesota.
And that's not who you want to be going against.
Drew.
Unless they sit them. But you don't want to do that, get them out of their rotation.
Yeah.
I guarantee that the Blue Jays make the playoffs. Okay?
Wow.
But you know what? The good news is those 3 pitchers pitching in Minnesota sets them up to pitch against Baltimore, which means
that could be.
Yeah, they're going to.
If you're going with the assumption, you need at least 7 or 8. If you can pull 3 and 3, and then somehow get 1 or 2 of the Yankees,
that's 7 or 8. Yeah,
right.
You're right.
It's possible.
You know what? But
let's do it.
All right. I'm not saying I don't want them to.
Okay, I know. You're a realist, and I'm a believer. So.
I know you're a Cowboys fan.
Every year, baby. Hey, usually we're done by week 1, all right? But usually in the off season, we're the best team ever, okay? But we're going strong in week 2, so give us a break. So we're still a little bit on the Blue Jays here, but AL MVP, the race is real. We got Shohei Ohtani, the spectacular, wonderful, one-of-a-kind player, and Vladimir Guerrero Jr. What do you guys think, guys? This is tough.
This is an interesting, very interesting debate, because it really brings into question how you view an MVP, right? If you take Vladdy away from the Blue Jays, are we even having this conversation about Wildcard or anything like that? I don't think so. If you take Ohtani away from the Angels, can they find their production somewhere else? I don't know. I think Vladdy has a greater impact on the team than Ohtani does, just from a personal bias standpoint. I have no numbers to prove this, no analytics to prove this whatsoever, but just based on feeling and looking at just the 2 teams, Vladdy has made a bigger impact because they are plugging away here to the playoffs.
Josh Donaldson would agree with you. That's what he said.
Okay. I kind of agree with you.
Yeah.
I don't agree with how you got there. But here's the thing. The Angels are already eliminated for playoff contention. I don't even think MVPs should be in discussions if they're not in the playoffs. That being said, the Angels have been without Mike Trout the whole year. I think this is a different discussion if Trout stayed healthy and the Angels are in a playoff race. Because
yeah. Well, Ohtani might not even be in the conversation at that point.
I don't think that's true, because I think there's other players on the Blue Jays that can be in the MVP discussion as well.
Yeah.
You look at the numbers from some of these guys and you say, is Vladdy getting good pitches because they don't want to face anyone else around him either? Like, who knows?
Fair. Yeah.
The Angels don't really have, like, they got Rendon there, but their lineup is terrible. And so Ohtani is getting pitched around most of the time and still hitting mid-40s bombs. We've never seen anyone like this.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Because even when Babe Ruth, I don't ever think did it at the same time.
No.
I think when he was with the Red Sox, he was a pitcher, and then he switched to hitter.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't think we've ever seen a guy, because that's always the argument against pitchers being MVPs, because they don't contribute on the offensive side. This guy is dominating on both sides. Like, he's top 10 in strikeouts and top 2 in home runs. And yeah, if he was on a winning team, I'd have to give it to Ohtani just because he's affecting both sides of the ball.
Yeah. If you flip teams, right?
Right.
Ohtani is the MVP.
Yeah, for sure. And I don't think it's close. No. I think if the Angels are in the playoffs, I don't think it's close. It has to be Ohtani. But Vladdy, he's close to a Triple Crown year. Yeah. And he's having a great season. He's got great guys surrounding him that protect him. Because a lot of times when you have one good hitter, he can get pitched around. He doesn't get opportunities. This happened to Bryce Harper all the time.
Right.
When the Nationals were bad, everyone said, "Oh, Bryce Harper sucks." He wasn't getting anything to hit because they knew they could get everyone else out. So the same sort of thing's happening to Ohtani, and he's still racking up numbers. So I think he's having the most impressive season, but Vladdy is the MVP.
Boom.
What do you think, Dan?
I like it. I can't disagree with you guys. I like both your points, and I think for sure you can't give it to a guy who's not going to make the playoffs, but he's incredible. Like he just needs to
He's huge. He's huge. Have you seen him?
He's like Captain America, the size. Like that's what he looks like.
Yeah.
Where is he from?
Japan.
Captain Japan.
Yeah.
There you go. There he is. Okay, let's move on.
Here's a quick question. One quick question for you guys. Are we wasting Mike Trout's years? Is his prime years being wasted?
They've been wasted since they came into the league.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
They've made one wild card appearance. That's it.
Shame on you, Art Moreno. Shame on you, Art Moreno.
The Pujols contract is what messed everything up.
Yeah.
And Josh Hamilton.
Yeah, that's right.
So just terrible contract.
And Justin Upton. And every decision they make is terrible.
So we kind of already talked about the AL Wildcard, correct?
Yep.
Let's go NL.
All right.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not as dramatic, I feel, because I'm not as heavily invested. But San Francisco is just crushing things right now. 200 win teams in the same division, and then one of them's gonna play for a wild card spot. Bro.
Yeah, I'd watch out for this Cardinals team. They were completely out of it, and they've come on strong. They've got the pitching to do it, defense, offense. Whoever has to play them in the wild card game, I wouldn't want to. So whether that be San Francisco or LA, right?
Yeah.
Those are two options to play St. Louis. I don't think Cincinnati's going to catch them. They're 4 games out.
Yeah, they're too far behind.
Yeah. But people sleep on St. Louis, but they still got Yachty there. They picked up Arenado from Colorado, Goldschmidt. They got a good team.
They feel like a more complete team.
But,
under the radar, but
yeah. But the Dodgers will throw Scherzer out there, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Who could be in the MVP discussion on the NL side. I think, and if Scherzer wins the MVP, I'm not sure on this, but I think it'll be the first time an MVP was traded midseason.
We'll have to look that
up.
We'll have to look that
up. That'd be an interesting stat.
Because he's top in strikeouts, ERA, and top 3 in wins. So he could be in the discussion.
Absolutely. And he's just having a dominant year. I don't have much to say about the NL side. It's an interesting race, but it's not as compelling as the AL Wildcard.
But let's all be honest. The winner's coming out of the NL. I think the World Series winner. What do you guys?
Yeah, I agree with you on that. They're much stronger.
Well, let's hear a word from our sponsors. And I'm going to talk about Urban Hope. Urban Hope is our youth mentorship program that's happening in downtown Toronto. If you're interested in supporting kids, helping kids, and seeing these kids come from up inner city community and succeed in life and make it to college or into the workforce and give back to their community, you want to support Urban Hope. This was our first year where we had students that have graduated from high school, that are in university, come back and run some of our summer camp programs and other programs. So because of your support, we thank you. And if you're interested in supporting, you can check it out on the Sports Reverends website, which is www.thesportsreverends.com. You can hit our sponsors button and you can see all of the sponsors page where you can get a bunch of discounts or you can support a few different organizations. So thanks for cheering us on. All right, let's wrap it up. Ben Simmons, he says he is not suiting up again for Philadelphia, and the Philadelphia fans are burning his jerseys. Do we care about this?
No. The guy's got 4 years left on his contract. Like,
he's a clown.
4 years.
Yeah. Look, if you're passing up an open layup for a contested three, guy, you don't have any legs to stand up.
I will say, for him, he is that good of a talent to not be able to shoot and to be able to be that timid and to be able to be an all-star starter because he's that great on defense. He's that great at court vision. He's that great that he's basically like Giannis, but he can't shoot.
Okay.
But he can't shoot.
Okay. Let's not even go there, okay?
What do you mean?
He's not basically like Giannis.
How is he
Just
not?
stop.
He's got a better handle, probably better court vision.
Daniel, the guy
Plays
can't
better
do
defense.
because he doesn't play offense. That's why.
Well, he still scores.
Look, Ben Simmons is great in the open court. I'll give you that. Half court, he's a pile of garbage. I'm done. I'm done talking about Ben Simmons.
All-star
Who
starter.
cares? All-star starter means absolutely nothing. It's all a popularity contest.
Well, it's a
Don't get me started on this.
It's a
I'm not talking about Ben Simmons anymore. I'm done.
Drew.
I'm done.
I don't care enough about Ben Simmons to talk about him.
Well, I like him. I want him on the Raptors if we can get him for a cheap
No.
price. If we can get him for a cheap price.
I'll burn people's Raptors jerseys if that happens. I don't have one, but I'll go find one and burn it.
He's got all that. He's got all that pure leader money. There we go. Go get that Raptors jersey. All right, guys. Let's end like this. The lock of the week. We're talking NFL football, and I don't know how we're gonna do this. So what do we do? Just choose.
Pick one game. Pick a winner.
Okay.
What's your lock of the week? If you had to make your
Who gets to go first? Because you can't copy anybody.
I get to go first. Easily. The Dallas
my
Cowboys.
goodness.
Got
Oh.
Philadelphia. And we're gonna,
You can have them.
huh?
You can watch this be the week.
I made my
Watch
All
this
right.
be the week.
lock it in.
All right,
Coach, go ahead.
I'm picking.
The San Francisco 49ers.
No. I'm picking. If I had to choose that game, I'm picking Aaron Rodgers right now. I'm picking the Raiders over the Dolphins. I feel the Raiders are going to go 3-0.
Ooh,
I like that.
wow.
Yep. Yeah, I like it.
The two
I like that. I'm not sure of a lock though,
I'm
but
locking it in.
Brissett is their quarterback.
This strategy worked out really good last year. Whoever's playing the Jets, so Denver locking you in.
Denver
Playing the
Wait,
Jets.
are you sure you want Denver? They don't have. Is Teddy Bridgewater healthy?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you're right. No, I was
And
right.
even if it's Drew Lock, I don't even care. Like, it's a lock. They're playing the Jets.
Is the Sunday nighter Tampa Bay versus the Rams?
No, Sunday night's Packers 49ers.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay. When does Tampa play the Rams?
325.
Okay, that's like don't
Yeah, afternoon game.
even talk to me because that's gonna be so fun to watch.
I'm going to send you all the.
That Sunday night game's going to be good, too.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
I
Packers
think
going to blow. I think the Packers are going to blow them out.
No.
In San Fran?
I think it's
Yeah,
gonna be a good game.
I have no faith right now. No faith.
Guys.
But I agree. Bucks Rams is going to be good. I want to watch that game.
I love football. I even started a football life group that's starting tomorrow at CITC. So we are watching Thursday night football every Thursday night. Yeah, I love it. What's going on with you guys before we go?
Oh, I'm still trying to find out where the closest grocery store is and where to pump gas.
No, Joel, you tell the real thing. Remember what you started? You're gonna.
Okay,
I'll speak
okay.
for you because you.
No, I'll speak it. I'll speak it. We'll speak into existence. I am partnering with Urban Hope and Daniel here, and we are starting a inner city youth-aged basketball team for boys. It's part of our first step here into helping the community grow and build some positive impact and hopefully making an impact in these guys' lives. And they'll be starting up hopefully in the next couple of weeks. And yeah, I'm excited for that. It's going to be a lot of fun and a good way to outreach and get back into coaching basketball again and having some talented kids to play with. So looking forward to that.
To coach kids like Drew or kids like Bubs, all right? You
Hey,
to coach kids.
the best thing about Drew is that no one thought he could run that fast. And Drew would run down the court, left-hand side, sweep in, and finish on the other hand. It was ridiculous.
With his left all the
Sorry,
time.
yeah. Come on the right-hand side, finish his left. It'd be the openest layup on the right-hand side. Nope.
Oh, left hand.
Left hand always.
Hey, he just doesn't.
Man, I tell people all the time they don't believe me how fast I was.
Yeah, you were lightning. All right, Drew, what's going on with you?
We're just getting in the swing of things. Our oldest is in school every day now, so it's a big adjustment for him, but we're having fun. Yeah, trying to navigate through this whole craziness.
Nice. We're watching the Jason Witten I Am Second prior to the Thursday night football game, and that's our life group. So we're gonna have some fun doing that.
Sweet.
Well, guys, that's it. That's our first episode of season 3. We will be back Wednesdays. We'll see you guys later, and thanks for tuning in. Peace out.
Peace.
Peace.